Last year, we had a pretty disappointing results. We ended up we played the first game of the set very well, but after that we couldn't find an answer and we couldn't really find our groove, and we ended up losing the series to a team that was, I'd say, even in the post-game interview, wasn't really there for to actually have a competitive or to be competitive with the other teams, which was specifically disappointing to me because I was there and I wanted to compete against some of these top schools that have these amazing players and kind of show my worth and my team's worth. Now I'm here to win compared to, and knowing that we had those past results that I'm just not satisfied with, I'm going to make sure that we have different results this time.
Well, so far so good for Julius and the rest of Western Ontario. Welcome back to the League of Legends College Championship. We're setting up for round 2 of this quarterfinal match between Western and Michigan State.
That's right, we just have the first game with Western Ontario winning, and on your screen, Julius, he just played Graves Jungle. Blind picked it, by the way, and had a great showing. He was up against a Karthus, and if you can tell, 2-2-12. That's a KDA of 7, which is really nice.
Ooh, I was about to say, never do math on screen, Crumbs! But you nailed it. I never doubted you.
Yes, and I love to hear where his motivation is coming from. It comes from that disappointment in last year. And let me tell you, from my personal experience, disappointment is the greatest motivator of all time. He knows exactly what he needs to avoid, and he's on a warpath to make sure it doesn't happen again.
But again, I think the team needs to be extra careful as a result, because same thing happened last year. They played a great game 1, very controlled, looking dominant, and then just couldn't figure it out in a short series. So need to make sure you're focused for these next 2 games, and for them, really just want to make it 1 more.
Yeah, but us Snow Mexicans are great at bouncing back. By the way, that's a different way of saying Canadian.
All right, let's get into Champ Select here. As we'll see what's on the docket for this draft. We'll swap sides. Western on the blue side for this one, and Zillion continuing to eat bans. Again, targeting out those specialized picks on the Michigan State side.
And also expecting the Draven to continue to be banned. Hey, we might even see that Jinx be banned again. I think they were happy with how Dylan Rand played that game in that he was not much of a factor. Not much of Michigan State was able to get off the ground. So I think that Western's going to be happy sticking to the exact same bans and just going with a very similar draft.
Same bans also on the Michigan State side, Hekram and Jarvan. We'll see if Western do go for the Jinx ban again, or if they do fancy a change up here on the blue side. Again, think of Ryze, think of Silas. Akali, also another pick we mentioned that did drop through draft in the last game. So clearly quite a lot of time being committed. They actually banned Kha'Zix away from RVN. Real Nation kind of raising his eyebrows like, all right, interesting one to ban.
It did get banned in the second rotation last time around, so I think that this is Julius making sure that RBM does not have a very aggressive jungle matchup. Karthus super passive, and if he wants to continue playing champions like Graves, getting rid of those very powerful assassins like a Kha'Zix makes it so much easier for you to pick the Graves or champions that are like it.
And Michigan State respecting the power of first pick Silas. Will ban that one away as their final one, so Western have a few choices to make. I think Ryze maybe jumps out to me. Slash's Ryze look really good. I imagine they can flex it. But actually going to take away the Jinx.
Wow. That really just shows us that in collegiate, denying a specific player might make a bigger impact on the game than taking one of the most OP champions in the meta. And I agree, if you can deny somebody else significantly and put them out of their comfort, you're in a great spot. So I took a look at Dylan's champion pool, and he pretty much plays mostly Draven, almost exclusively Draven. And to the point where it's about 70% of his games, then 20% of his other games are Jinx, and then 5% is everything else. So he really has been playing mostly those 2 champions, and taking him out of his comfort zone showed by giving up that first blood in game 1.
I'm very curious to see what Michigan State have cooked up here, because this is looking like, I was going to say it's looking like a Kog'Maw comp, and there we go, Lulu Kog'Maw, the first 2 picks. I mean, one hyper carry gets taken away. Michigan State say, don't worry, we got plenty more where that came from.
I mean, you now are thinking, what do you pair with Jinx? I personally played against Yuumi Jinx yesterday. I thought it was really nasty. I would love to see it here today, but we're probably going to get something like a Braum. Super safe and very good against Kog'Maw, because when you put that Unbreakable up, you can soak most of the Bioarcane barrage out of Kog'Maw. Instead, though,
it's another good way.
Super aggressive. Just press R, detonate Kog'Maw, passive unlock.
Yep. As long as we can get to the Kog'Maw, I think the idea is no matter how many shields you have from the Lulu, he will die.
Or be crowd controlled and not dealing damage.
That's true. Also matters. CC also, Death also the hardest form of CC. Nico going to be picked up here by Western. So a lot of different flexibility. We have seen maybe a lot more Nautilus support in recent memory, but certainly at the start of MSI when the pick kind of started to emerge, have seen it in solo lanes, particularly mid, so is viable there as well.
It's a nice little flex pick. You can obviously play your top and mid and attack speed or AP. Probably the AP version now that attack speed's already been hit successfully, but we're not going to see any rise this game whatsoever. Nobody wants to deal with the very long range of a Jinx or a Kog'Maw, and instead we're going to opt into an Ahri, which is great at assassinating those squishy targets.
Second Ahri in as many days, Crumbs. Again, think about Collegiate, lots more specialized. I mean, these players actually swap roles quite a lot because, you know, individual skill is kind of one of the main metrics for figuring out, okay, who gets to do what on the team. I mean, even last year's champions, Youngmin has moved around roles again. We'll, of course, see them play it later
That's
today.
how it was for me way back in the day. You start off playing a role and you get a member to your team that he can play another role better than you can, and then you swap off, and then until you find somebody that can play your role better, then you stay on that. And I think that's how it really goes down in Collegiate. You just keep playing until you can add players, and if they're good, well, you better learn another role very quickly or else you're off.
Exactly. Individual skill matters, a lot more specialized in champion select. We've seen from these picks like Ahri, so certainly a lot of fun so far. We'll focus on phase 2 of the draft though, as the bans are almost finished in fact. Kindred and Graves going to be the takeaways from Julius in the jungle, and On, one of the bans here from Western, so respecting the potential team fight that Kog'Maw and Lulu can kind of bring.
Yeah, those two jungle bans are very interesting because those are the ranged junglers. Other than that, what is Julius going to play? Because it looks like Michigan State might be thinking about playing a very passive
Oh, the Garen's open.
jungler. Yes, Garen is open. Does that mean you just insta-lock it? Garen Lulu? That sounds filthy.
I feel like there's almost no way Western take it, so I think maybe they can kick it over and just take a jungler here. There's Rek'Sai locked in for Michigan State. But I like that again, taking another pick away out of the pool from Julius.
Garen makes sense. You need physical damage. Kog'Maw is kind of a hybrid, so why not? If that's what your guy plays, put him in his comfort pick. He's gonna go Ghost Flash or Ignite Garen. Why not?
I want you to know that that is immortalized somewhere on Twitter for Crumbs 2019. Garen makes sense. Well, we'll see if they pick it. There's Nocturne for Julius, sticking to the aggressive AD junglers.
Well, the Nocturne worked pretty well in game 1 of UC versus UI yesterday, so it could go over well for Western here. It's a good answer into the Kog'Maw, considering you can dive him very quickly with Nautilus. So Nautilus presses ultimate on Kog'Maw, then Nocturne goes in right away. Hopefully you can combo that with a Jinx Rocket or even a Hemo Plague. A lot of single target removal, which is a good answer to Michigan State showing their hand so early with Lulu Kog.
Yeah, ton of good buttons to press there on the Western side as Vlad will finish off that draft.
Do it.
If there's ever a time to play Garen, it's down.
Match point.
Yeah.
Go out with a bang.
Or win. And I mean, I think if you win with Garen, that's like mega.
Yes!
Yeah, they're going to do it. There we go. There's the Garen.
No regrets.
So Garen versus Vladimir? Question mark? Maybe Nico.
It's Ignite Garen, though, so it doesn't matter what he's up against. He's gonna be aggressive.
I respect Ruination. He's a man of one way, and that way is aggressive top lane champions.
Yeah, I don't know what Niles was saying yesterday, but he wasn't taking Ignite from what I could tell.
True.
Yeah,
That's certainly true. Maybe they'll meet up. You never know. Michigan State gonna have to win 2 straight if they want to keep their hopes alive here in the tournament. Western are looking to continue Canada's run here in the college championship.
I mean, what better way to do it than to dethrone Michigan State with their signature top lane, right? 16 KDA on his last Garen game, so if the man can keep it up, I can see why it would be banned.
And it wasn't just a throwaway game. Like, that game qualified them for this spot in the college championship. So certainly a lot of faith here put in the top lane. And they trust the man on his Garen. They trust him on the Darius last time, and it didn't steer them too wrong.
You know, way back in the day, Garen was really good when you could stack Sunfire Capes.
Oh, yes.
6 Sunfire Capes, Garen.
You just sold boots at some point. I
Yeah.
never bought them because people didn't recognize the power of boots back then, Crumbs.
Who knew shoes made life better?
Well, I'm excited to see this top lane matchup. I'm also sad that Gorica has teleport. I liked when we had Ghost Ignite.
Yeah.
That it's only one person with the Ignite.
He doesn't see Garen as much of a threat as a Ghost Flash Darius, which might be his mistake. Who knows? Who knows what Garen's capable of?
We're going to get into this game, and once we do, I'm going to cue you guys in on something that's quite curious.
What's curious to you here?
Do you see anything out of place potentially in these Keystone Scrums? See something that maybe you wouldn't have expected? We were just talking about boots, so it's actually a great start.
You mean the Predator Garen?
Yeah, Predator Garen.
So it's not that bad.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm surprised. That's all. It's not a judgment. All right, you know what? Hold that thought. We're going to throw it down to Ovely for a side report. Please tell me what's going on with this Garen.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Leto, and yeah, let's start with that. You left open the Garen pick. Are you guys confident about going against him?
Yes, we're very confident about it. We thought about all the different things they could do. They could pick Garen, but there might be other cheese. Who knows how much they've scouted us. Even like in the first game, they picked Darius, so we didn't really know what they could come out with. So we figured just leave it open. We picked a pick that we're confident in taking into the Garen anyways, and that's our top laner's comfort pick. So I guess we'll see which one trick wins.
And you guys took game one, a similar start to your last time participating in the championships, but unfortunately you lost the next two games. So how are you going to confidently close out this series?
Well, last year they didn't have a coach. They had a sub stand on stage. I'm a real coach. So I'm pretty confident that my drafting is better than anybody else here. I drafted against X Special in the semis, so I just think I can take it away from anybody.
Fingers crossed that you're the lucky charm. Best of luck to you. Back to you guys.
Oh my god, this is some next level gameplay. It's Garen mid!
I guess they saw the Vlad and say, hey, that's a matchup we like, so how do we get the matchup? Well, we gotta move the champs around, I guess. Ruination versus Slashshot 1144. Not what he thought he was gonna get today.
But you know, the power of Garen is in hiding in the brushes. There's no brushes in mid lane.
That's not true, there's two there on the screen.
You can't go hide in that.
Watch him. Watch him hide in those brushes, Crumbs.
All right, so let's address the Predator in the first place, because he started boots, so he wants to be using this early on, and this Ari does not have the time
what
here.
a beast. One more auto flash order, there it is, first blood.
Maybe Ari was better in the mid lane and Garen in the top lane, but it looks like they're just scrambling to get a good matchup here. And let's take another look at how this started. It really was you ding level 2 first, and Ari just did not recognize that the all-in was so strong at this stage in the game, because you rarely lane Nico versus Ari top lane.
Yep, that's a good way to put that.
How many times have you actually practiced?
How many times have I personally played Ari top lane versus Nico? Never. 0 times. But for these players, maybe also 0 times.
Yeah, it's close to 0.
All right, well, Nitro actually does TP back to the lane, so we've at least aligned the teleports in the right lane, or I guess the same lane. Not sure if right's quite the right term. And with the Predator Ruination, I mean, I'll see how much he's able to leave this lane, if the levels maybe help out with threatening of Vladimir. For me, it feels more like if you can get out of the lane and run around the Predator, it's going to be a bit more effective. Just adding a second jungler to the mix, kind of.
That is what it is, right? You press Predator, and your whole goal is to run someone down and one-shot them in your Q, spin, ignite, ultimate, which is enough to take down all of the members on University of Western Ontario. There's no tanks here.
Also, notably, Gorka did start with a Doran's Blade and does have press the attack, so it is going to be the AD, more split-pushing type of Nico, and not the AP Glacial Augment, Twin Shadows builds that we've seen as well. One of the nice things about Nico is that she is so flexible, both in position and in build. And as we heard from their coach, Gorka certainly very comfortable on the champion, looking like it, getting that very early solo kill for himself.
But the Ari has been able to catch up in CS, so she's 21 to 23 and the wave is crashing, so able to actually make up for that early deficit pretty well. As long as she doesn't die anymore, she's going to be fine. And I think that she's learned her lesson.
Have to see Gorka probably looking to continue to play aggression. Speaking of, we saw a lot of fireworks in the bottom lane in game 1. And Kog'Maw, I'm expecting a little bit more farming, but Lulu certainly can't help out with some aggression. There's a very slight CS lead up right now for Dalaran as lethal tempo procs, but with barrier and heal on the side of MSU, looking to probably just get Dalaran to mid to late game and really push things forward then.
Yeah, the Nocturne just looking to farm until level 6, so we want to see Rek'Sai, RBM have a little bit more of a say early on into this game, but how can you when your mid lane is getting shoved in, your top lane is getting shoved in, and the only place you can actually do anything is in your Lulu Kog'Maw lane, which is terrible for setting up a gank.
Well, control it's placed nicely. Short hop. Oh, that's not short hop, that's Gorica. Not gonna see the Rek'Sai. Nico's fun. So RBM gonna sneak in here. Nightshade, no ulti, but no flash for Gorica either. He's gonna transform out. RBM looking for the knock-up. Ooh, nice little juke! Gorica! Tricks them and gets away with it!
Oh, what a great escape. He didn't even take a single hit of damage. And meanwhile, in the bottom lane, all in on
we're all
Cog.
winning. This seems to be the theme of this 2v2. Short hop getting in there. Ignite versus flash heal, so at least a summoner win there for Western. Valorant firing back, but still a one trade there.
I am disappointed he did not spam dance after that one. That was definitely the moment for a little bit BM.
Julius instead is going to roam into the jungle. Not Graves, but still fancies a bit of counter jungling here.
They spotted him. This Nocturne is in trouble.
Ooh, also with the blast going cut off. Kog'Maw going to get help in there by Lulu, and now Julius going to get cut off at the pass. There's no cone to go to. He's going to have to burn the flash and does use it.
They missed every ability on that. I think they would have been able to connect on him if the Prey Seeker would hit and then Lulu can proc the little turn you into a cupcake.
Polymorph, yeah.
Yeah, Poly.
I was about to ask how Polymorph missed, but special there from Julius and not quite able to snipe that out there on the MSU side. So Julius gets away with at least just using his flash, but still a nice punish attempt there from Michigan. Another good tangle up there by Gorica. Again, that proc, every time it hits, just so brutal.
Very difficult for Ahri to go all in anybody right now because you're not packing that Ignite. When you're running these assassins, Ignite is a huge asset for you because you need to be snowballing. Instead, she's up here in the top lane just trying to farm and break even here, and it's just not what you want to get out of your Ahri, but you're going to rely on her to be very accurate with your charms later.
Oh, Julius is 6 and he's near this top lane gank as well. Gorica, I think now knows that he can just go for it. Looks for the Pop Blossom just defensively, but Nocturne going to charge in. The Tangle Up does find as well. Flash forward from RBM, going to try and get the pick up, but Gorica finds the last auto. Nightshade flashes in only to his death.
And Western Ontario finds the play into the top lane, 3-0. They get 2 summoner spells, all their ultimates, and it's just looking so great because Nocturne, when he gets that first gank off, he's just gonna pop off. Let's take another look at how this one happens. So Rek'Sai goes in first, but the Nocturne paranoia, the second this happens, they know they're in trouble. And they're just trying to commit, to try to hope to get a kill. Unfortunately, nothing.
Moonlight now the next target. Short up, gonna get slowed there by the Glitter Lance. Flash forward, Slasher once in. Hemo Plague down. Moonlight should be dead here. Shield not gonna be enough. Uses the pull just to make sure. Short hop able to get that first kill. Now the Chomper's not gonna latch, but the slow does land onto RBM, who's forced to use the second tunnel back towards the Wolves. And again, UWO just getting so aggressive.
And they can. They have so much pressure into their lanes. Now that they all in the bottom lane, Lulu without any summoners is just so weak. She has to hang far back. She can't afford to just go and harass, which frees up Nautilus to go roam around the map. And Garen, he just has no say in this lane against Vladimir. He's had to go with the Tiamat now to try to wave clear, but this is all Vlad's lane. Garen doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, up almost 20 CS here for Slasher. But this early Sork Shoe is just comfortable here. The 1v1. Ruination just kind of has to watch the minions crash into the turret.
I want to see what the spike for Garen is here, because he's already strong enough to take down most members except Vladimir. It's just a matter of, can he get in the position to do so? Is he ever going to be freed up from the tower to start looking for plays and using that Predator?
So have to keep an eye on who's marked by the Garen passive, but
It's Nico.
oh, that's true. The 2-0-1 Nico, huh? Yeah, that makes sense. Slasher again continuing to trade nicely. Doesn't have his ulti back up, but that should be enough to force Garen back to base. Julius now taking his time to go into the Drake. Nightshade forced to use the ulti just to get away. And Nocturne going somewhere. Oh, it's the jungle RBM. Good night.
Yeah,
Oh, Julius.
is about 2 levels down to the Nocturne.
The red
level
triple
8
count
Nocturne, yeah.
around the blue buff gets the blue, the Grump, and the champion.
with a completed warrior already and no completed warrior for Rexa, it's just not enough.
Oh,
The
please.
silence, but without Ignite and the speed to catch up, it's just not going to happen.
Has Ignite, but can't quite have enough damage before pull would be used. Silence not that long.
So Michigan State, they have to hold on here. They're losing all their lanes, but if they have to lose them gracefully. Yeah, this, I mean, we know what this looked like. Deleted. Control, X, open trash bin, paste, close. That's what happens.
And now Cloud Drake as well. Then up, oh wow, almost 5,000 gold. RBM gonna try and make a trade here. Looking for the Rift out here on the top half of the map, but an early game was rough goings in the last game, and this one's looking even worse. Western just so aggressive in the matchup.
They are. In situations like this, if all your lanes are losing, you can start going with creative lane swaps. So take the bottom lane and have them 1v2 the top lane, or take the top lane and have them roam, because you're just not able to lane 1v1 anymore. Nico's solo killing Ari every chance she gets. Garen is pushed in nonstop, and I don't think he can actually connect this. Oh, that was
Duke had flash as well, but does the right thing, dodging the Prey Seeker, and I can go back home safely. Solo kill number 2 lining up here. University of Western Ontario trying to get the extra credit. Ruination, though, will live.
You think you get extra credit from playing League?
I think you get it for solo killing for sure.
No, like you're going to college, you actually get extra credit?
You know what? Not a question I'm fit to answer, but I can answer this one. Valorant is dead. Nice gank again from Julius.
Using the flash to make sure that the fear is going to connect. And you don't know, and you saw it there, it will connect through your Zanyas, it'll connect through your stasis, through pools. Doesn't matter, you're going to get feared if you're connected.
Yep, and the stopwatch was just delaying the inevitable there. Tompers straight down under the Cogmore, and simple pickup. Turret going to be the same here as the bot out of falls. Gold goes over to both the Jinx and the Nocturne. And West End just racing ahead in this game.
They really are, but Michigan State, you have Lulu Kog'Maw. There's always a way back into this game. How do you stop the bleeding? Because you're bleeding a lot.
Well, Ruination, does he have the calculation? Oh, look at the dunk, he finds it, that's worth it.
That's the power of Garen. He runs straight at you with the
didn't even have Ignite.
And look at his build. He's not even going with a lot of damage right now. Typically, you'd see a Black Cleaver rush, something like that, but he's rushing that Righteous Glory so that he can get into that fight. Just imagine how fast he goes. Presses Q, Righteous Glory, Predator.
I wonder if he was around when 6 Sunfire Cape Garen was a thing, Crumbs.
He's trying to relive the old days.
Looking good so far.
That's it.
I mean, a trade that he'll take.
That's a Predator. And bam. Still silence the whole way through.
I bet he
Razor's
just didn't
edge.
think he was going to die, or didn't have pull.
He definitely didn't have pull. Look at that. We had to see the spilled blood.
Well, Ruination gets himself a solo kill. Technically what that was. Got up in the 2 extra, pushing the mid outer turret here though. Oh, Julius wasting the spell shield. Does not proc off the artillery from Cog, but again, staying proactive. Gave a kill over, but still very far ahead in this game. No Rift Herald either. Actually look for RBM to maybe get that drop soon because he's running out of time to put the Rift Herald in a lane.
No Rift Herald, but there is an Infernal Dragon that is about to come up, so I think both teams are gonna want to do something about this objective. If not, go for a fight to try to trade an objective. Michigan State knows that University of Western Ontario is gonna go for this play. That's just a fact. What can they do to trade for it instead? Because now they're using Rift Herald into the mid lane in the hopes of securing a play, but because the minion wave has not been cleared, it's not going to charge. It's just going to waste itself there, and all the effort that they spent into the top lane to get that Herald, completely undone.
Yeah, just running out of time really to drop the buff somewhere. Have to think that the timer was almost up, so forced to use it. Unfortunately, just donate short hop an extra 50 gold. And with the Drake not up right now, in fact, still a few minutes away from spawning. No objective to try and play for there either, so continued control here for Western. Gorica looking to take this turret by himself here. Blade of the Ruin King already done those 3 kills. More than enough to stand up against the GOP from Nightshade. I mean, Ari is not equipped to win a 1v1 with this build. She wants to skirmish, wants to team fight. This Nico build is basically all in on side lane.
Not
It's the
without
complete
Ignite.
opposite.
Without an Ignite or a healing reduction, you can't crack through Nico. Her W heal and the Blade of the Ruined King is way too much, and that's why you typically don't see the Ahri get placed into the top lane. The Ignite matters so much here, but Michigan State has no answer. Who do you put to match against Nico? Because Garen's not going to be able to do it either. Ahri can't beat the Vladimir at this stage in the game as well, so they need to be really creative here, utilizing Rek'Sai to try to go for some ganks. Nico is still killable in a 1v2 situation, same as Garen, so a lot of the emphasis is on RBM's Rek'Sai. Unfortunately, he has fallen behind, but you always have Tremor Sense. You can see if somebody's nearby, and that can help you make a correct choice when going for a gank.
Well, Julius has got enough time to just sit around the Infernal Drake and wait for it to spawn. Oh, ulti again! He's found the jungler, and that's going to be a kill. Hemoplague will do it.
Even burns the flash out of that.
I'm really glad I was right, by the way, because that would have looked exceptionally stupid if he hadn't
If
died.
he survived, if he just pressed stopwatch.
I didn't even check for stopwatch, which is kind of a mistake on my part, but thankfully successful gank there by Julius. Lands another kill into the jungle, and that'll be the Infernal Drake nice and easy.
Look at the item advantage. You've got a guy with a completed Dusk Blade to a longsword. It's a world of difference here. So the Nocturne has so much range on this game that it makes it very difficult for Julius or for RBM to go for any play on his own, because the counter gank distance from Nocturne is so massive now. At level 11, it turns from about 1,500 range to almost 3K. It's just so much farther, half a lane crash.
To put a number on that goal difference, it's about 2,500 right now between the junglers, so ridiculous lead.
Well, you'll have almost 9,000 gold ahead in under 17 minutes.
It's kind of been the story of these early games. Weston just full control. See if Michigan can find some few angles. Again, any pick they can get is good. Finchada's maybe on the way for Nightshade, but does have the DLP with the Augment to try and find some pickoffs.
I'm one of those guys that doesn't give up in my solo queue games ever. So
I'm there with you, Crumbs. I appreciate that.
here, you always... Okay, never mind.
All right, so Slasher gets himself a kill.
You have to outnumber. They have to be looking for a numbers advantage. This is what they're looking for.
TP in, not bad. Short Hop gonna flash away. Oh, backside off fall. Good hook from the Nocturne, but Short Hop, he's gonna go down to the Lulu. Now Blaze Nova gonna get chased down. GLP is nice. Nightshade moving in, does get himself snared up. Have to be careful. Kog'Maw firing away though. Blaze Nova gonna go down to Nightshade. Here comes the Nocturne. Gorica still trying to fight his way out of there. Julius though, able to get that kill. Now RBM the next on the menu. But Julius may be too far forward, forced to flash away, but Gorica now looking to find a snipe again, back onto Dialorite. Who's the better AD carry? Nico looking to make it work, but Slasher able to find the kill. The shutdown, no land, no to RBM, as Slasher finds the double for the cleanup.
And University of Western Ontario come out on top by being able to take the Dragon and being able to push even further into these lanes. But that's a really good fight for Michigan State. They got some trade kills. Garen's going in.
Julius waits it out, gets himself feared, finds the silence, but the fear to the land. RBM not able to find the Prey Seeker. Ruination not rewarded.
Whew, that was close. Well, that just shows that Garen needs more items right now. Needs more items. That's what we're going to conclude out of that one. He did have the ultimate, but just not able to do it through the fear. So let's see how this started off. So he got baited in, but the flash was not enough to outplay the pool. But this fight started off by Rek'Sai going in. This is what we're talking about, the outnumber. Kog'Maw flashed in right away, but it doesn't matter. They have side on to the Jinx, which allows Rek'Sai to continue with her ultimate. And here, it's 4v2. They're just not that confident because of how strong Nico is right now. And with a Paranoia on, you can't really turn. There's just no sight whatsoever. So they're scrambling to try to find the right target. And while the Nocturne does look good, Nico in the backline is hammering away. This is a Nico that already has a Blade of the Ruined King. A Nico that is 3 levels up onto the Kog'Maw. She's just going to be able to 1v3 at any point.
And again, Western have done such a great job all series long, just getting to the play quickly, whether or not they're starting them or responding to what's happening. The team that's very clearly on the same page.
But at least Michigan State got a taste of that, right? If
Any gold you can get is good.
If you engage first, you can make the plays happen, even when you're down 10,000 gold, 9,000 gold, whatever amount it is. You have to pull the trigger first. Vision, comes first, and then you can make the decision. So I think that they are starting to adapt in this game, and I want to see them continue to do so because they're still fighting like they know they have a shot here.
There's 2 Vlads! 1-3-1 though for University of West. I had to do it. And for Western, Gorka in the top lane, and Slasher there in the bottom lane. Do not be fooled by the Nico.
Here he goes again.
Vladimir is the villain. Hemo play gonna get popped, and oh, that's not very fair. Slasher just pops the ulti and runs away.
Jeez, that is very one-sided.
I mean, again, you said it's just the items at this point. If it was a bit more even, I think Ruination feels pretty confident in that 1v1. Dalaran, though, maybe finds something here, gets some poke on a short hop, but can't commit fully without vision. Nightshade also put the ulti, I think, coming to that play. So not able to find a pick off on the back end either.
So now the item that they really need is going to be healing reduction. A Morello's out of the Ahri will have to be completed, or...
Oh, Julius diving in, the face rush proc, that's going to be a kill. Julius able to grab it, Slasher is happy to dive under the turret. And short hop an RBM facing up a Blazing over here. Flash already committed by the Rek'Sai. That's going to be a kill though. Short hop down. That's the kind of picks that Michigan State need.
That is exactly what they need. You know that Jinx has no flash. Continuing to punish that is going to be the way to get some money back into this game. Love to see that. And yes, you're going to lose a few members into the side lanes, but you have to take those losses. What matters more is that you make the money back.
Oh, that's a kill again for Slasher starting to dominate the game. They find the hook on a Cogmore as well. That'll be a second. Now Julius chasing onto Moonlight. Oh, there's 2 Nocturnes. Nice snare though from Gorka. Gonna give him the kill and maybe the Baron here as well. RBM still dead for 20 seconds.
Led them straight into the Baron pit. They don't have enough sight. Can Ahri be the hero? The best case scenario here would be a quadra kill on the Baron steal. The likelihood of that though, we just don't know until we see it.
Well, actually, Ruination enough presence here to force them off the Baron. Now Ruination gonna face check. Oh, it was a bait all along. Garen gonna get locked up. Here's the pop blossom from Gorka. Gonna get the follow-up stun. Gonna get the Scuttle Crab, and Julius now, oh, he finds the Ahri. Goodbye, Nightshade. No, he's gonna live. Back towards the cone. Gets out safely.
Ooh, did not want to commit further on that one. He's got a very fat spree, so yeah, you burn the ultimate, but you're already at max CDR. You're fine with that. You've snowballed so hard. You're 3 levels up on the other jungler, and even your buddy finds him and gets you the assist.
Yep, sneaks into the jungle, disguised as the Nocturne. Now gonna maybe chase for more. RBM gonna be forced off the Krugs. Western will grab themselves their 3rd Drake and their 2nd Infernal in this game. And that gold lead up 11,000 now, Crumbs.
Yeah, that's a TLG2 one. It's never gonna get old. Not gonna live it down.
Stop reminding me. All right.
The Kog'Maw is strong, Pastry. Kog'Maw is the answer into this game. That's why you first picked Kog'Maw. Okay, this is what happened. We thought it was gonna be more exciting. He just kind of disappeared.
Was that?
It was the auto. You can't, yeah, the 1 auto. Are you surprised that the Nico auto does that much damage?
Yes!
That's Nico top for you.
I mean, it wasn't even charged up.
That's not your everyday Vladimir. I think that gives it away.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Not the best disguise when you have significantly more attack speed than the Spellbinder probably about Vladimir. Julius gonna turn out the lights. Snipe from the Jinx ult almost finds the execute.
Nocturne was considering going, hey, he's still on call.
Oh, Dalaran, what are you doing there? Actually gonna live the Lulu ulti comes up clutch! MSU may have found their way back into the game. Slasher gets the kill. Dalaran does die at the end of the day and short up. Firing away, flashes forward, gets the first. Now excited, looking for RBM. Slasher diving in, gonna get the kill in pull despite the knock-up.
That was so close, and it almost looked amazing. They were able to take down the Nocturne, a 600 gold spree, but the Vladimir was left untouched, was able to demolish the backline, but enough time for Jinx to start charging up to the point where she's flashing in, knowing she's going to get those get excited resets and continue to chase.
And Gorka, again, sticking side lane here, going to get the inhib turret, going to look for the structure behind it as well, but with the respawns coming up, decides not to overcommit.
So let's see how it starts off. They're going onto the Vladimir, and yeah, you get the pool right away, but they just choose not to go further because of the paranoia. And Nocturne does not want to wait it out, so he says, screw it, go onto the Kog'Maw. He's by himself, trades 1 for 1 almost, But look at that, Jinx in the backline, hitting the Garen, hitting the Lulu. There's nobody there to go onto her because Ahri and Rek'Sai have already committed all of their spells. And it's just cleanup after that. You took the talent to try to get out, but Vladimir was in your face.
Yeah, again, Vladimir and Jinx, really good team fighters. In general, when you're ahead, it's just very straightforward in spots like that. So Western continuing to ride their massive gold lead, but again, the more time that ticks by, the better it gets for Michigan State.
There's a Hurricane now on Kog'Maw, which is going to help in spreading that love of damage, and another engage, but there's nobody to follow up. Rek'Sai can't be making these solo plays. You need to be backed up by Kog'Maw at all.
Ooh, good job. Nightshade was also the one that got the shutdown. So now gonna pop the GLP.
Nice charm.
The shadows as well, finds the charm despite the invis. Gorka, though, still fighting out. Again, you have to cut the healing. Moonlight now going to come over to try and pick that off, but Light turned out. Dive happened, short up with the first kill. Gonna make it 2 under the turret. And Nico also still fighting. Pop Blossom Pop gets the knock up there. 3v1, but Gorka trying to zip out of there. Not going to grab it. That's the shutdown for RBM.
That was the second charms that Nightshade was able to connect on the stealth Nico, so that really saved them. Otherwise, I think he was going to be able to stay in there and lifesteal because of that Wit's End and that Blade of the Ruined King. They take the Nico out, but they lose the Baron, and hey, you at least get a gold spree. So they're stalling this game out to a good degree, but man, you're down 15,000 gold now.
I mean, a pretty aggressive Baron, but I think one that Weston can take pretty comfortably. If nothing else, to take it off the map. You know that even if they come and find you, you're probably going to win their team fight anyway. So Nico doesn't get the Baron. Relatively significant, given how much time Gorka has put himself in the side lane.
It's true. It does make a pretty big difference, but what's going to help Michigan State really seal the deal here to have a stand, have a shot at these team fights is going to be the Rage Blade out of the Kog'Maw. He's at the pickaxe right now, but having that multiple passive hit on him is going to do so much for shredding these high HP targets. The Vladimir, the Nautilus, they can't stand to a Kog'Maw that is hitting so many times for percentage max HP.
Short Hop, though, also looking good, so both carries will be well matched, and of course, Short Hop has the gold lead here, given how far ahead his team is. Also, 5 kills, not so bad, as you can see the pretty significant individual gold difference there. Twin Shadow's pop, going to find Slasher, perhaps. Again, Nocturne is going to get crushed, but Nautilus able to tank up the front line pretty nicely. Julius in the back line, TP in, and now Short Hop now going to go on a rampage, maybe going to try and find himself the Quadra Slasher, going to steal it and get the second kill, but Short Hop happy to play cleanup. Moonlight dead for the double. QSS burnt. Not quite over the wall there for Ruination. Short Hop still looking.
It's just so difficult for these guys. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, Corral. Nightshade gonna land the jump, but Short Hop gonna keep fighting his way out. Dominating there. Is that Crit gonna get the double?
Just the goal disadvantage is way too high right now. It was a nice look, right? You can get the Vladimir to pull right away, but the fact that Nautilus can just press R and your main source of damage is immediately taken out of the fight means that you need to be on much more even footing to even stand.
And it was just uneven. A gold lead built up over and over. Western Ontario demonstrating the fury of Canada here in the College Championship.
Absolutely. Canada taking the torch, continuing to advance to now the semifinals. They'll be playing a best of 5 tomorrow.
And did not make the mistake they made last year. You know, getting too comfortable in game 1, not finding their way in. They have a decisive game 1 and they make it about as decisive in game 2 as well.
I think that's been the most decisive games we've had all week long so far. 2 games at which they had over a 15,000 gold lead upon closing. We just haven't seen that.
We'll be happy to take it and move on to the next round. However, their opponent will not be easy. Don't forget, we have the Columbia UCI Finals rematch coming up in the quarters after this series. A best of 3 in the quarterfinal when they played the finals last year has to feel a little tough, but that's the matchup we'll be going up against the Canadians here.
That's right. America's hat no longer.
Yeah, Michigan and Canada might be neighbors. They're pretty close together, but no friends made today, Cross.
Yeah, I mean,
not on the Rift.
No friendships allowed when you are Predator Garen in the mid lane.
We're gonna give some credit to Ruination. Again, still smiling, still around, despite the rough going there in bot lane.
Listen, they knew what was happening,
very
right? They
Canadian
knew
of them.
that you
Very
had
happy
to
even
give
in
it a
defeat.
shot. You had to play your champions at the very end. And if those are your best champions, you put them out there. If they don't work, they don't work. You'll try them next time, and you'll do it better.
Exactly. You know what? It was fun. I mean, I'm never going to complain to see a Garen swap from top lane to mid to try and counter the Vladimir.
Not complaining.
Fun, certainly fun. But again, for Western, seems like kind of business as usual, really almost like taking a personal offense to what happened last year. It felt like, got too comfy. You heard it again from the jungler, Julius. You had a stellar 2-game run. Just wanting to say that, you know what, when we came last time, we thought, we could do it, but maybe a little too lackadaisical. This time, we're here to win it all, and now they're one step closer. For more on that victory there, let's send it down to Ovally, who's standing by with Western's jungler.
Thanks, guys. Julius, congratulations on the win. Now, last year you said that you felt a little burned after getting knocked out in corners. So how does it feel now to take the win in such a dominant fashion and move on?
Well, last year, for those that actually tuned in, we had the expectations that we wanted to show that, although we aren't supported by our school completely, that we have a lot of talented players that all a lot to show, and that we can show that at kind of this level. We failed to do so last year, though, and after seeing kind of the interviews and seeing their mentality going into the game, the fact that we were able to this time, I wanted to make sure that we make a statement and we were able to do our school proud, and that's what we did with this game.
And we spoke with Coach Leto before the game happened, and he was crediting a lot of the success to him in joining the team. But what do you think? Did he really bring a positive change, or was it internal with the team?
Well, the thing with having a coach and a figure like that is that there has to be that respect factor, in the sense that the things that he states and the things that he suggests to us, that usually with the extra advice that kind of he has from a different perspective and being committed to the game so long, it gives another mindset that we didn't have at the time, and it definitely showed as we were able to come here convincingly with the assist of him. And it's not only the fact that he helps him pick ban and the in-game stuff, but it's also that kind of second mentality that kind of he has, and the fact that although he isn't specifically supported by us to help us, that he just wants what the best for us, and we were able to show that today.
And speaking to some of the picks, we saw you blind pick Graves in the first game. How confident are you in your own skills and your pool compared to the other collegiate junglers?
There's definitely a lot of good junglers there. There's a couple old people that have been in the LCS, and definitely from other support schools, there's definitely a lot of good talent here. But I'm very confident in my gameplay, and I hopefully am able to show that tomorrow.
And the next match tomorrow, you're going to play the winner of UC Irvine versus Columbia. How do you think that match is going to go?
Both schools are very good, or kind of they have both different styles. They have very good flex picks. They all across the board. They have very talented players, and it's honestly going to be a toss-up because with all the different flex picks and kind of the experience that both those teams have and the support that they have from their schools, it's definitely going to be interesting, and we're definitely going to have to keep watch for it to see their tendencies and all that kind of stuff.
But who do you think's going to win?
I guess I'll give it to CC at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes a long series based on all the picks and all that stuff that they have.
Well, thank you so much, and we're just going to have to see how that game goes, but congratulations again on the win. And to hear about that game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
All right, thank you very much. Ovally in Western Ontario representing Canada here. The
Go Canada.
final team still here. Maybe one of us here is Canadian, if you could tell. Taking care of business and in a dominant fashion, probably the most dominant win throughout the whole tournament, right, Mark?
Yeah, and it's one of those times where we always encourage in the collegiate scene to play your champions, play your style, especially, not everyone's going to sit there and scrim and practice 80 different champions the way it kind of happens in the LCS. But there's also going too far and kind of turbo-inting your draft to play your style. The Garen last pick, yeah, it was fine. Like you guys like playing Ari. It's a pretty stable champion. You can kind of blind it, which they did there. But then the Garen into either Nico or Vlad, both those matchups are very difficult.
Yeah, he's playing a melee matchup into potentially a range matchup on either side. And then he's seeing it's the Nico top. And then he forces his team into this really weird lane swap where I don't know how comfortable they were with that in scrims, but obviously you saw with the first blood that Nightshade was not that comfortable with it overall.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of that action in the top lane. Gorica, former 80 carry, role swapping to the top lane, getting himself the ranged champion, and Nightshade not exactly sure what happened to him before the game got even started.
I mean, that's the nice thing about AP on hit Nico kind of thing is it's close to an 80 carry. So Gorica right at home and then able to play some really nice 2v2s out, baiting in. Had a really nice escape earlier as well.
Yeah, with the W, it was really classy.
Yeah, really good Nico player all around. And this kind of set up his team to run away with this game because things weren't going great elsewhere on the map, but it was maybe salvageable. But stuff like this just it's so hard to punish.
That was so good. And I think we watched that play over and over again, and Pastry called it out as one of the best, I think, outplays that he's seen on Nico. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's one of those plays where you just wish that the players could like emote after, you know, just give them a little thumbs up.
Sportsmanship, sportsmanship in college. Now let's take a look at some of the other team fights that happened throughout. Once the gold lead got relatively large here for Western Ontario, couple of chances here for Michigan State to get back in, but they were so far behind.
Yeah, one of the really cool things about the Michigan comp is they actually had an AD carry that does well into the Jinx, but even further than that, there wasn't a lot of protection for the Jinx, so the Rek'Sai could just dive onto the Jinx, and you saw that a couple of times where you could just get on him and then one-shot him, but the top side of the map was just so far ahead that it really did not matter at the end.
Yeah, between the Lulu speed-ups, the Rek'Sai, like you said, and even Ahri being able to have multiple dashes, they had really good tools to collapse and force these fights on the immobile Jinx, which they did a number of times, but you're doing it, you know, from 4K gold deficits, and then eventually the Nico shows up, and eventually even Nocturne got so far ahead he could solo out every single member on the enemy team, and so Michigan State had some interesting components of the draft and some that were interesting.
Yeah, some good ideas, and you know, some good ideas is just not enough to advance to the next stage. And lucky for Western Ontario, they played to their own style as well. They got to take away that Jinx. They got the Nico for Gorica, which is a staple champion for him. And yeah, they're through the next round just due to being able to play that style, but also do it in a pretty intelligent way for the way they set up the draft and the way their lanes played out in both games.
And there's something to be said that can connect you to this. The final Canadian team here got the support of the whole nation now after Waterloo was knocked out earlier. You guys got to do that with the University of Toronto. And you brought it up. I thought it was really interesting. What kind of tidbits did you ever feel or get from the fans like that?
I mean, you're always getting like messages of support, people cheering you on. When UBC was knocked out, when we were playing, you know, they spent some time kind of recuperating, recalibrating, but eventually would like come out and support us in the match and like make signs for us, and you know, getting the support of fellow countrymen and people who are just basically on your side. That means a lot, especially when you're on stage. And like Mark said before, it's his first big experience potentially on stage, and it can be very nerve-wracking and it can be very unfamiliar.
The cool thing too is as the tournament progresses, more and more teams get knocked out, but then they just start showing up to your matches. So the crowd in the arena just keeps growing time and time again as it goes from like special close family members watching your matches, and then all of a sudden you're at the finals, all the other teams there are watching you, and suddenly it's like a 200-person crowd.
And then also the team that you beat, they really want you to win.
Oh,
because
they're not rooting against you.
Yeah, because they're like, we want to be beaten by the people who end up winning.
Right.
Too,
so that's a great bow on that side of the bracket. Now let's set up the big match here coming up. It's going to be UCI against Columbia College, the two teams that were 1 and 2 throughout the year, possibly with Maryville as number 3 in the quarterfinal matches. Guys, this is the one that everyone's been waiting for, and it's happening so much earlier than what everyone expected.
Yeah, and I think that's why everyone should be excited to see it. I'm happy I get to cast it. I'll be leaving here, and Crumbs will be coming on the desk.
Man.
I hope you didn't hear that.
Crumbs. I enjoy having you on here.
But it's just super cool to see the finals rematch this early on. There was some crazy stuff pre this tournament, you know, with the planes and things like that, and who each other were beating is like they all kind of beat each other leading into
it's like a little triangle.
Yep, right. Yeah. So you have this crazy bracket stage now which is kind of seeded through these upsets that were happening throughout the play-in stages.
Yeah, I also have heard that these two teams have really good reads on the meta right now and what's really strong this patch, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the draft plays out and how comfortable these players are on those particular champions that may be more meta.
That's right, returning champs and a lot of experience on both sides of the roster. It'll be very fun to watch. That quarterfinal has wrapped up, but up next, it's a rematch of the 2018 College Championship Final, Columbia College against UC Irvine. Stay tuned for that right after the break.
Oh, what a beast. One more auto flash order. There it is. First blood. Ruination. Does he have the calculation? Oh, look at the dunk. He finds it. That's worth it. No Lulu won't.
I'll take off.
Yeah, Cogs free. You guys just win that, yeah. You may have found their way back into the game. Slasher gets the kill. Dialer and does die at the end of the day. And short up, firing away, flashes forward, gets the first. Now excited. Coming, brother.
Matter, I'm a broken champ.
Do we enter bot?
Yeah, we do.